That's so funny. Yeah, when you mentioned Flying Dutchman, just my head started going crazy.
Yeah.
And,
I love pizza. I haven't had it in a long time, like other than like the stuff that I make at home, like every once in a while, which is with your guys' favorite fat-free cheese, just to keep the calories down. Dude, so check this out. If you put fat-free cheese and then you spray, I can't believe it's not butter spray, which is also like basically no calories, it comes out like really, really good, like gooey cheese, like the way it's supposed to be melted. It doesn't turn into plastic. It's really good.
This fucking witchcraft you're doing
It's
with
amazing,
cheese.
like,
He's creating like at-home Velveeta cheese or something.
Yeah, kind of. It's definitely some kind of chemical. It's no longer cheese, whatever, by the time I'm done with it.
Oh, man.
But that, some turkey pepperoni, and it's a freaking party. It's really good.
Yeah.
You guys got to try it. Smelly's Kitchen.
I'm actually curious. I really am curious what it tastes like. Because
it's really good.
You mentioned it so many times, man. Yeah. In terms of the last time I was off plan, you know, so the big thing is the reason why, because I'm going to mention some shit that seems off plan, but it's really not. The control I have over hunger now, because of fasting over the years, and I can go the day without eating and just have like electrolytes and maybe some protein and then eat later. I've had ice cream in the evening, right? But on those evenings, it's usually because like I didn't really eat much during the day. I've had sushi. I've had like 8 rolls of sushi. But I remember that day I didn't have anything during the day, and I had those 8 rolls of sushi and a steak. So the caloric intake wasn't that high. This isn't something I do every day, but like on that day that I went on a hike and had that pizza and stuck with a bunch of meat, that pizza was like the only thing I ended up eating, and I ate a steak when I went home. So it's like none of those things end up being off plan, because when they're done, when I do eat out and I enjoy it, it's always because I wasn't eating during the day. And that means that one meal may be maybe 1,800 or 2,200 or 2,300 calories. And I've already done a bunch of stuff during the day where it's like not off plan. You know, there's always this concept of most days I'm always intaking a lot of protein. I'm always being satiated. And even on the days where I cook at home, sometimes it is just one meal that I make. But I none of those things that I mentioned are even remotely off plan, because I have certain habits in place that we've done over the years that allow me to enjoy that and not even feel remotely guilty about it. So
it's interesting. And yeah, like just, I guess reframing, you know, what's not part of the plan. I think there's many ways to like, I guess, kind of go off your diet. But really, if you truly think about it, the only way to really go off plan and way off the charts would be to consistently overeat for an extended period of time, like a handful of days.
Yeah.
You know, where you really just like went nuts with food and had very low activity. That would be like, oh, you took a little mini vacation from what you normally do.
Yeah.
But I don't think any of us get into those predicaments at all anymore.
No, that actually, to kind of piggyback off of what you just mentioned, what I mentioned here, I wouldn't suggest to somebody that's like having a hard time with food or having a hard time with their diet or whatever, because for me, doing those things doesn't open any type of floodgates. I have ice cream one night doesn't mean I'm going to have ice cream every single night for the next week and then eat way more food that's going to put me over calories and have me gain excessive weight. But for some individuals who are new to all of this, doing something like that will be like, oh, they'll feel bad about it, then they'll eat more.
Might be a trigger, yeah.
It might be a trigger. These things don't trigger me, and they don't affect me negatively because my whole day is controlled. Like the whole caloric intake at the end of the day is still in a deficit. So because I mentioned this, remember, we have all these habits that we have set up that might allow us to do something like that and be perfectly fine and not remotely off of the goals that we're trying to achieve.
Yeah, like the day that I had the ice cream, I started out the day the way I do almost any single day, whether I'm at home or on vacation. I had 8 poached eggs and 4 slices of toast with like dry, because I was like, I don't want whatever fake butter you guys have, even though I eat it at home. But like I ate that, and that's like all I had the whole day until I had the ice cream, and then we had dinner afterwards. But it's like, yeah, you're right, setting it up. And so it wasn't off plan. It was just something I don't normally eat because I set up the rest of the day.
Yeah, for myself, there's been times where something like In-N-Out, you know, I might go and have some Flying Dutchman, but then I also might get like a regular one with the bun. I've been doing more stuff like that probably over the last like year, where I'm like, just doesn't matter. It's something that's really, I would consider to be like fairly modest. I went to a place called El Patio, which is really good. I think I told you guys about it before.
In a while. It's really good.
It's so
been there in
fucking good. And I got a burrito. I got some fish tacos. But again, like trying to load the motherfucker up with protein.
Right.
I try just to do things like, like I try to make a choice between like sour cream, cheese, and like if you start to get sour cream, cheese, guacamole, like you just end up with like a lot of fat.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I just mainly like the cheese. So I'll get cheese, beans, rice, and just load up on either chicken or steak or sometimes both. Stuff like that. Little things like that over the years have been things that where you just get like double meat, you get the extra protein in there. That's kind of helpful. But so I did that. And I think when I went to Nebraska, when I went to Piedmontese, even though we ate all day, at night when we were going home, I was like, oh, let's stop at like CVS or something. So I bought some candy. But it's like, it's nothing like what I used to do. Like when I used to do something like that, I would be like, I'd have like a shopping cart and I'd like, dump everything in there. This was like, I bought a handful of things and I was good the next day.
Yeah, man. It's the thing about this that's interesting that I'm happy about is that we don't need to be extreme. Like some people talk about diets and they're like so strict and they're, so rigid to look the way that they do. And that's cool. But we have habits and we have things that we do that allow us to loosen the reins, but we're still within our protocol and have these foods that people will be like, you can't have that and be cool. This is what people will say, oh, you're just doing flexible diet. We're not tracking shit. We're not tracking. Right. But what, this isn't something we do all the time, but it's something we enjoy and it's not something we need to do every day. One thing I think is that people feel like, some people think you got to be able to have ice cream every day. You got to be able to have something like that every fucking day. You don't need it every day, right? And number one, when we have it, we don't feel guilty. We don't feel like we're off plan. But it's also not something that we overdo. We have a balance with all of this stuff. And all of it is we're always heading towards our goal. It's never taking us off plan. I'm out here just doing this Pop-Tart dance. These fucking legendary Pop-Tarts are so great. Power Project family, I hope you guys are doing well today. But I want to show you guys from Legendary Foods, we have the Tasty Pastry. Now, these things are 20 grams of protein and 5 grams of net carbs. Sometimes you're dieting and you want to be able to have a good, tasty snack that doesn't taste like cardboard. Well, this baby, it's not even warmed up. Imagine if you warm up this freaking Tasty Pastry in a microwave for like 20 seconds. I got my coffee right here, Tasty Pastry. I'm living life, and you guys can too. Andrew, tell them about it.
Absolutely, yeah. So the other thing about this, so again, Nsima just mentioned 20 grams of carbs for a total of 180 calories for the whole thing, and the whole thing tastes amazing. If you guys haven't tried it, you need to right now. Head over to eatlegendary.com and at checkout, enter promo code PowerProject to save 20% off your entire order. They have those tasty pastries. They have all kinds of amazing flavored nut butters. They have almonds. They have all kinds of stuff, and you cannot help but laugh when you say nut butters.
Nut butters.
So yeah, you guys need to head over there right now. Eat Legendary Food or eatlegendary.com. Links to them down in the description as well as the podcast show notes.
It's kind of nice to like somebody has food or there's some like you're somewhere and there's certain things that I won't do. Like I won't eat like chips because I'm like chips are fucking great. I love chips and salsa, but like I'm gonna eat so like for me to be pumped about it, I'm gonna eat so much of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just sitting there like, hey, Chubbs, like, don't eat the fucking chips. But when it comes to something else, I'm like, okay, well, I am going to get a burrito, or I am going to have tacos. Like, I am going to eat this or that. And I just make a little compromise with myself. Like, okay, don't have that, but allow yourself this. And then it doesn't feel restricting. And sometimes certain things I've learned, like something like chips, it's just never ending.
It is, yeah.
With a burrito, I'm like, that hit the spot. Like that was great. That was perfect. I don't need
spot.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, where is that spot? I don't need anything else. That felt great.
It's this part of the belly that only gets triggered with just copious amounts of food. It's the fat kid spot.
Yeah, I don't know.
But the chip thing, I gotta say, as we're talking about all of this, that is truth. We know we mentioned ice cream, we mentioned pizza, we mentioned sushi. These things, sans ice cream. These things, like they can make you feel full, and you can get kind of creative with it. But chips,
No.
boy, Oreos, boy, that's not like. See, that's just something I'm not gonna do. And I did it recently, and I was so regretful. Okay, yeah, there we go. You asked the time
Trapped
we
in there
binged.
somewhere.
You asked the time we binged. That was when we did that video, and I bought all those processed foods. And
Oh,
then
yeah.
I had an Oreo, and then I ate the three
whole sleeve.
sleeves. I ate no, not the whole sleeve,
package?
the 3 sleeves. It was a big old package. That's
great.
That's why I don't keep that shit. See, that's that shit where we just don't, we don't play.
Something like a Dorito is so interesting because I swear that I think your mind thinks like, I need to taste this again. Like your mind's like, I think it's going to taste different this time. And it's amazing. But for some reason, I think there's like something in your head. You're like, one of these is going to taste a little different.
Yeah.
And I think they actually did like a thing a while back where they had like a spicy Dorito in there or something like that. And it was
that's
like
evil.
Yeah, it was like encouraging people to like, eat them more or whatever.
Those
Doritos should be
scientists.
illegal. Those are so good. You just
It
can't.
bypasses all human evolution.
Damn, it does.
Yeah.
What I was gonna say is like I had actually like a pretty, I don't know, I was like having fun going to each restaurant and trying to figure out like how I can make the healthier decision or whatever. Anywhere from a breakfast to like a dinner spot, I was just like, I want to do that, but take that out, or like just give me an extra couple of eggs, or give me an extra patty on this whatever hamburger, double protein, whatever it may be. And like, I don't know, you don't have to like look down on anybody, but when you get your plate and it's a fucking solid meal, you're just like, I'm winning right now. Everyone else around me is kind of losing, and I'm tearing shit up right now.
Yeah.
Just imagine
Why don't you stuff yourself with more bread, you fat motherfucker?
Yeah.
That's exactly what I did. It's like Andrew's like, look at you, Fatty McFat fat.
Andrew like giving everybody a dirty look as he like walks to the bathroom or something.
So it works out really well. Like, so again, it's not fun that my wife has a gluten intolerance, but she can't have bread. So I'm like, cool, we don't need bread at the table.
There we go.
And then no matter what she eats, my son can eat because it's just mainly going to be protein. Like that's all he cares about. We'll try to give him rice or something. He's just like, get that shit out of my face. Like, give me the fucking protein. It's great. I
Oh
love
God.
it. Yeah.
I feel that, man. No, I feel that. Hey guys, I've seen that you guys have been commenting about how much you hate the whispering outro, asking you to like, comment, and subscribe. So I'm going to whisper again because I know you don't like it. So hey, I know we're bringing you some good content. So like, comment, subscribe, and share it with some friends so we can all help each other out. And maybe I'll stop whispering in your